Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Eleutheria, where we talk about all things liberty. And if anybody has any experience of having the liberty of freedom of speech and expression taken away from them, it is the man to my left, your right, Jerm. Welcome, Jerm.
I'd like to be to everybody's right, if that's okay with you.
Okay, cool.
I don't.
But at the moment, you're on my left shoulder, so.
No, that's embarrassing. You know, whenever Google Maps tells me to go left, I say, "Fuck you, I'm going right," and it takes me 45 minutes longer, but to arrive at my destination. But I will never go left.
You're that far right, huh?
I will rather go via Tilbach to get to the shop than listen to Google Maps telling me to go left. It's plus that, and it's a combination of Google Maps telling me to go left and it being a woman.
Okay, but you can change the voice.
Yes, but then I just feel gay.
Okay. All right. Well, you have issues. But at least Tilburg is a beautiful place, so.
Yeah, and plus I don't have to listen to a woman telling me which way to drive or how to drive. Is it too early? Is it too early for jokes?
No, it's not too early. I got some links from White Noise about the stuff that's happened in Senegal, which is a bit difficult to report on because it's a breaking story,
I don't know what's going on yet. I know a little bit about vans driving into court cases and farmers pushing over police vans. But I don't know yet. I've been very busy today, so I've not really been following.
Yeah, I've also been pretty busy. I fell behind on admin on my channel, so I'm trying to catch it up. Anyway, let's see. Oh, the Bruce says you're the town bicycle now because you're just going on everybody's streams.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
How does that work? Because the joke goes something about everybody's had a ride, but that doesn't quite work if you're a guy.
Not really.
Or maybe. I don't know. It doesn't quite work. I think that joke needs a bit of attention.
It does.
Speaking of bikes, have you ever tried riding a unicycle?
I have not. I value my life. So
I would absolutely love to have my own unicycle. How cool would that be? Like having a unicycle. That's so much fun.
Okay. I don't know. I know I would fall off and probably crack my head open. Or break a few bones. So
well, I mean, a tricycle is look, I mean, everybody who's woke and sort of postmodern these days has a tricycle, right? Because it's their safe space. Normal people ride bicycles, but like really awesome people ride unicycles.
And clowns.
Yes, but same thing.
Laura wants to know what your cap says.
Oh, come now, Laura. Are you not South African? Wait, unless she's from Durban.
I think the screen is a bit small.
I think she's from Durban. It says all farmer lives matter. I'm doing my bit to spread the right message.
Awesome. I saw you rocked your Paratus cap on Cliff Central this morning.
I did. Yes, I did. Where I think I don't have it yet. It's downstairs.
It was very cool of you to get that name out there.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Awesome. Love it. I'll send you an Eleutheria cap when I have some made up.
I don't really wear caps. They give me a headache. I'm only doing it to help spread a message.
Yes, because it's a bit difficult to see T-shirt slogans when you've got a big fat microphone in front of your face.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? So I'll never forget the one time there was this chick, and she had this slogan on her shirt. So I looked to read it, and she looked up at me. And she goes, "What are you looking at?" All right. So here you got a nice rack, obviously, because that's generally how it works with these girls, with their slogans. But I'm reading the slogan, Beth. I'm reading the
Mm-hmm.
slogan, and now she thinks that I'm eyeing her out.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So these days, I've learned not to read slogans on women's shirts. It's
Well,
safer,
not the front anyway.
or not the
If
front,
there's
sure.
something on the back, it's okay. But
But I
mind you,
mean,
you might be accused of checking out the arse.
so yeah, so there are two times we don't make contact. So when women wear t-shirts with slogans like across the boobs, you got to be careful of that, guys, uh, for your own safety. And the other one is in
Mm-hmm.
the gym. I think I told you about. You never make eye contact with girls doing the yes no machine. Never.
Yeah, I think don't even look at girls using the yes no machine.
No. You
Okay.
just walk straight past and keep your eye on the squat rack. That's it. Safer.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Just don't check out women in the gym, maybe.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, I'm having a hard time here with my lights. I think it's like the sun clouds are coming over or something, and it keeps changing. Sorry about that.
A very skinny girl walked past me a while ago with a Guess T-shirt. I asked her bulimia.
Yes, the guest joke. It's a good one.
And yes, you got to be careful. Full stop these days. Which, yeah, is just
It was the police who shot 3 warning shots. After this level of propaganda, I need 3 tequila shots. What does white noise podcast mean by that?
Oh, JC said earlier on, I didn't know it was Abura who fired the warning shots. Propaganda 24 probably twisting the story again, only reporting when there is a bit of negativity.
There was a vehicle that drove into the court, as far as I know. I've heard from two sources now. Mareka says Jerm can read my shirt, but that's fine, Mareka. But there's never anything on your shirt.
This is true. This is true. There was once on Whiskey Friday where she had something on her shirt, but I couldn't see it.
I actually
So
misread
yeah.
Mareka's comment. And before I said it out loud, I thought it said Jerm can read my shit. And I'm thinking, like, that's a very strange comment to make, Mareka. But then I realized that I'm just tired.
Yeah. And maybe you just think your mind jumps to one place. So
Anti-Marxist ZA has got the right idea. He says boobs are like the sun. You can only look at them for a second unless you wear sunglasses. Yes. So there's a sweet spot. So like 1 second is fine, it's flattering. 2 seconds generally gets you slapped through the face. And anything after that gets the police called on you, or like, her really big husband.
I'm sorry, I have to go and shout at children quickly because I don't know if you can hear that, but it's annoying. Can you please tell them to stop that? You know, every single day I go live at the same time and I ask them to be quiet and behave. And every single day, without fail, they go outside and they howl and make the dog howl.
Are your dogs howling? Is your dog howling?
My
Yeah. Do you
children and my dog is
do
howling.
you, do you have more than one dog? Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my lighting here. I'm really having a hard time with my lights today.
I do have more than one dog. The old one is the old one is old. She's 14. So I
Oh,
mean,
that's a good life right there.
yeah. And she's the little hairless one. So she just lies on my bed all day.
Your dog's hairless.
She's hairless, yes.
Oh, shame. Why? From
She's a
age?
hairless breed. No. She was hairless
Oh,
when I got her.
no, no.
She's
I'm only a fan of hairless cats. Ooh, sorry. It's probably too early for such jokes.
no, hairless cats are horrible. Won't
Yeah,
you
that
watch
one flew
Friends?
like that one flew like a bag of cement.
Oh God.
I'm making these great one-liners and they're flying like rocks. You know what? I understand
I'm
though. You
not
know
going
why?
to talk about
Do you know why I understand? Do you know
pussies.
why? Do you know why I'm okay with my jokes flying really poorly? It's because I'm not a comedian, and people forget that. Uh, I've drawn what I've published 7,000 cartoons, and most of them are not about humor. They're actually just outrage and anger.
Well, then why do you keep trying to make jokes if you know they're just going to fall flat?
Because I have faith, Beth. I have faith. One day, people are gonna laugh at my jokes.
Oh, you made white noise laugh, so there you go.
I love her. She is my heater. Who?
Amy. Amy loves Freakazoid, my hairless dog.
Oh, are you friends with Amy?
Yes, Amy
In
came
real life?
to in real life. Yes.
Ah,
So, so Amy came to watch White Noise's show at my house on Saturday,
White Noises
and
show.
yes, White Noise podcast.
Did he do his show from your house?
No, he did a live stream, so we watched it on the TV.
Oh, and Amy came to your house.
Yes.
Right, I'm following.
And Freaky sat next to Amy during the whole show and kept her warm, like a
Oh,
hot water
okay.
bottle.
Right,
Yes.
right. I'm following.
And then when Amy got up, she didn't have like hair all over her, like if Nelson had sat on her. But to be fair, if Nelson had sat on her, she would have been suffocated. So, yeah.
Right.
'Cause,
Beth and Jerm, says Amy, with
yes,
the heart. What is it?
yes.
I don't understand this lingo. So White Noise podcast says yes, a Casper drove into the courtroom through the wall. Source villain Petsa. Well, I'm not quite sure
Yeah.
what that's implying, but there is another source, and I heard the actual voice note saying that a Casper drove into the wall. And that would also explain why farmers threw over a police van. Farmers don't normally just randomly throw over police vans.
No. No, I have no idea. I'm totally oblivious.
By the way, Willem's on my show tomorrow morning, so we can hear the full story.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Because I know he, I mean, he hasn't been putting out content because he's,
Wife has
know,
been putting
taking it.
out. That's why.
Okay, we'll go with that one. But he did put out a couple-minute video yesterday saying that he was going to be in Senegal today and imploring people to be there. So, and it looks like they had quite a turnout. So, yeah.
Yeah, there were lots of people there. I think quite a few thousand.
And the Casper is an armored police vehicle for those who might think it's a ghost. Yes. Yes.
Well, it is a ghost because you don't see them anymore. Because we have no military.
No, isn't that the armored ones that they use to transport prisoners?
But you don't see them anymore. Because
I used to see them when I worked. I used to see them because where I get on,
No,
where
you're
I
wrong,
used to get.
No, you're wrong. What they use to transport prisoners is the blue light convoy.
And the prisoners are in an actual Casper.
No, they are in
No.
actual BMWs. They're on their way to Parliament.
Oh. Okay. Never mind.
Or to the Union buildings. Or to the Thule House. Take your pick.
Okay, I'm following you. Yes. Yeah, that's where they should be. The Caspers should be there and arresting all of those corrupt bastards. I'm really trying not to swear on my own streams, but I'm failing miserably. So
Sorry, I think I dropped a few as well. I apologize.
No, it's no, really. Like, you know what? YouTube can actually take their censoring swear words stuff
and funk
and
off.
shove
They
it.
can funk.
Yeah.
They can funk off.
Yes. Thank you, YouTube.
Mm.
So, how are you enjoying having to start from scratch?
No, I'm not.
It's fun, eh?
Nobody likes everything being destroyed and then starting over. But you know, it is what it is, and so at least I'm still getting cool guests, and that's the good part. So
Yes, that's all that matters, is that, you know, you still have your reputation, and you can
what? I've got
at
a
least
reputation.
still.
Please, you must have missed social media lately.
Well, I never said if it was a good or bad reputation, Jerm, in my defense.
True.
So, but yeah, but you're like really good at getting people on your show, like Peter Boghossian. Like, come
Thank
on.
you. Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. And like when I'm catching up on content, I normally watch it in double speed. And it was so funny because I couldn't listen to that on double speed. And then you were telling him about how you couldn't listen to his book sped up either.
Yes.
And I was like, well, that's rather funny because I've had to slow this down now.
Have you tried listening to Chris Wyatt on double speed?
No. Because it doesn't work. He's like one of the few Americans that I actually can't watch on double speed.
Because he speaks too fast.
Yes, he speaks very, very fast. The most I can manage with him is like 1.5.
Peter Boghossian is a great guy. I speak to him quite regularly. He phoned me last night, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's a bit of a mentor to me, actually. He's a bit of a mentor. He and I speak a lot. He's taught me a lot.
Yeah, I gathered that from your last interview with him, which is really awesome.
Every person, I think, needs sort of a mentor, somebody who isn't actually too close to you.
Yes. Somebody who can call you on your shit without offending you.
Yeah, but that's not really a mentor, though. Mentors are more about finding your weaknesses and sort of growing them, making them stronger. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure,
but that's the thing.
It's generally about helping you.
Yeah,
like a gym coach.
Yeah, personal trainer for your
mind.
For your mind and also I think it's important to have more than one mentor. Like if there's a lot of areas in your life that you're working on.
And anybody who says that mentors and those sorts of motivational people in their lives are not important are lying. Everybody can learn and grow.
Well, you've been a bit of a mentor to me in me creating this channel. And
I'm sorry about that, Beth.
So if I get cancelled, it's all your fault. No.
Then you're doing something right.
Exactly. White Noise wants to know if you're demonetized or just some videos banned and you're unable to stream.
No, I am not demonetized. I'm just prohibited from streaming, which essentially renders my channel pointless, because the whole purpose of my channel is live streamed conversations with guests.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm not demonetized. However, the moment my new channel gets monetized, then I will probably just suggest to everybody in the old channel that they can can their memberships, and I won't bother with monetization on that channel. But monetization on YouTube is also a bit gimmicky. It really isn't.
It is.
It isn't. It isn't. I mean, it's more symbolic when people show their support than anything else, because the kind of money you're dealing with is very small, unless you are like some massive, celeb. But at the end of the day, every bit does help. I mean, that's how you can end up with microphones and headphones and things.
Yeah, every cent thrown in the jar helps. So yeah, but I do think that more of a membership based and like people being able to super chat and stuff like that is, I mean, that's more where I'm leaning towards. I'd rather be able to say what I want to say and not have to worry if YouTube is going to say, oh no, we can't put adverts on this video, so you can't earn anything off of it. I'd rather not have to have that hanging over my head and rather just have the privilege of, if any people want to chuck some money my way, that's awesome. Not going to take my clothes off for it.
Sure. Super chats don't really work though.
Not.
Unless you ask people, and I don't like doing that. So, I'm more interested in the conversation than I am in asking people for super chats and putting bling on the screen and all that kind of stuff. I don't do any of that. I don't even put comments on the screen. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I'm very bad at multitasking, Beth.
Well, this is what I love about StreamYard, is that it actually makes it very, very easy. And they, it's like right here that I can just highlight a comment and yeah. And then I can make it go away as well. And it's nice because then you can see it as well.
Yes. Hey, listen, you mentioned now that you won't strip for super chats. It reminded me of a conversation I had around a bribe, because obviously if I'm going to be there, I'm always going to bring up something to do with stripping or removing your clothes, or I have to maintain my man card, Beth. I have to maintain my man card at some point. So I've got to talk about I've got to talk about naked women at some point in the evening. It has to come up.
I don't believe any of this about you, but okay, carry on.
So we were having this conversation, and it was actually quite funny. There were a bunch of us. We asked the question, obviously, to the women. If you were given, and let's see what those in the comments say. If you were given 100 grand cash, right, cash, and you had to be a stripper at, I don't know, say Mavericks for 3 hours, one night, just one night, 100 grand, would you do it?
Where is Mavericks?
I don't know. Choose a Mavericks somewhere. Doesn't matter where exactly. Any Mavericks. Let's see who's a female in the comments. If you were given 100 grand, would you be a stripper at Mavericks for 3 hours, one night? Do you basically, Beth? Do you have a price tag?
100 grand tax free in a city where people don't know me.
Well, obviously, it's going to be in your city, because otherwise you've got to spend money to go to Cape Town to find a Mavericks. So you're welcome to do that as well. But the point is, a Mavericks that you're happy to go to. And Daniel says, as a man, I'll do it. Daniel, you don't count.
Gentle says, yes, of course. They don't touch you, so it's fine.
Is Gentle Inflatables a female?
Gentle Inflatables is a female, and she will be on my show tomorrow afternoon.
I have seen this name, Gentle Inflatables, forever on my show, and I've always thought it's a guy. I am so sorry, Gentle Inflatables.
No, that's the name of her business because she hires out jumping castles.
Gentle inflatables jumping. Yes, that makes sense. I'm so sorry.
And her surname is Gentle. Like legit. Like I'm not making shit up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, so Deborah says she won't.
No, Deborah won't.
Deborah won't do. Okay, so Deborah's price tag is obviously higher than 100 grand. So she's not as common as the rest of us. Okay, who's next?
Amy says for 100K, why not?
Okay, so Amy's in. Amy's in. Who else is in? What if I identify as a woman? Well, okay, but then everyone in the club's going to identify as going home.
I think so, yeah.
Everything is for sale at the right. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's got their price.
100K pays the bills. Yeah, I'm just thinking how much debt I could pay off with 100K.
See, now what I love about the conversation is all the women go, wait a minute, 100,000. Let me think about this. No, it's tax free, right? So immediately the cogs are going. So my wife was part of the conversation. She's like, yes, of course. Like, hello. Okay, we need to talk about this. But very few women that I know have said no to this particular thought experiment.
I tell you what, Jerm, after as many pregnancies as this body has been through, if someone still wants to pay me 100K to see it completely, you know what? Beard on their head. Really.
But yes, what will happen? If anybody that I know decides to do this, I will skip Mavericks. Absolutely, because I don't want like
you don't want to know.
You don't want to know, and you don't want to feel awkward the next time you braai.
Like you're standing there at the braai with your mates, and you're like, "Oh God, I've seen his wife naked."
And you know what also is quite weird. Thankfully, I've never been in this scenario, but I've had friends in this scenario where, like, the husband and wife are remarried or something, or the boyfriend and girlfriend they were with their other friends, if that makes sense. So like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like the guy, so there's two guys and two girls are at the braai. They've all dated each other, but they're all good friends now. I find that quite weird. I'm not friends with any of my exes.
Okay.
Are you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But that whole crossover thing where you got like a husband and a wife who are married now for a second time, but they were married to their best friends or something like that, and who are also at the braai. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in cases where there's kids involved, it's different.
Okay, but I'm not talking about that. That's obviously different.
Yeah, then I don't know. That is a bit weird. I don't know anybody that has stayed friends with their exes. Unless we're talking like high school sweethearts, and then, you grow up and you realize, hang on a minute, like I don't actually want to spend the rest of my life with this person. But they're your high school sweetheart, and they were your best friend growing up. Like, yeah, okay.
You know what also is quite funny about all this? When, I don't know if you did this, and I'm guaranteeing, I'm going to put money down that you did do this, and every single person in the comments did exactly this also. But when we all joined Facebook, one of the first things we did within the first couple of years was quickly go and find those people we dated earlier on in life and see what they look like now.
Yeah, I looked up my standard 5 crush, and I mean, I was so madly in love with that boy, Jerm. Yes, it broke my heart. That boy broke my heart. And then I look him up, and he's like morbidly obese and he's divorced and he's a miserable fuck. And I'm like,
and you're opening a bottle of
oh my
champagne.
God, I dodged a bullet.
But I went back and looked at some of the girls that I dated, and like a couple of them are super hot today. I'm thinking, whew, did I make the right call back in the day? And then I realized that I didn't make the right call because I've always been the one who got dumped. So I had no choice in the matter. I was always that loser dude who like wouldn't break up. I would always wait for her to break up with me. I'll tell you an interesting story. There was only one time that I can remember that I broke up with a girl, and I felt terrible, Beth. I mean, her heart was completely broken from this whole scenario. It was many years ago. And as it turns out, I'm friends with her today on Facebook, and I've had wine with her and stuff, and she's absolutely wonderful. And thank goodness everything turned out the way it did. But I feel ashamed because I dumped her for like a really ugly girl. And I can't tell you why I did that at the time.
I can think of one reason.
Sex?
But,
no.
I'm very crude.
No, it wouldn't have been that. No, I was very I'm talking about many years ago when I was still like just coming out of high school, and in those days, like a lot of us, I was going through like a church phase, not Sunday school, the youth group phase, where you wanted to be this ultimate example, and so you'd be part of like the church group. And so you didn't want to do naughty things until you realized that actually everybody was doing naughty things and you were the odd one out. And then you realize that if you actually wanted to be around people who were good and decent, you needed to exit your youth group.
Okay, so the girl whose heart you broke was in the youth group.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay.
Yes, it was quite incestuous.
Okay. Incest. I don't think you know what incest means.
Oh, I do, but we're talking church circles.
This is true. Yeah, where you're raised to believe that everybody is your brother and sister. So yeah, that is a bit.
Yes. Let me just state for the record, I am a fan of church. Don't misread into what I'm saying. I'm talking about those early years where we didn't think too deeply about stuff. As we get older, we think more about stuff.
Yeah. And you know what? I do think that it's important for teenagers to go through a bit of a rebellious phase.
I was very good. I wasn't a naughty boy.
But you left youth group.
Were you
rebellion?
Were you naughty, Beth?
I was the worst. I was the absolute worst. Because I rebelled hard because everybody said, oh, you look just like your oldest sister. You're just like her. You're exactly like her. And so what are you going to do?
So were you
do everything.
So were you always living in her shadow?
No, because she ran away from home when I was 6. So. And I kept moving out and moving back home. So I was like total ops.
What does this mean? You guys are very base. What does that mean? Do you know?
Base
people have said this to me on Twitter and on my own YouTube channel. They say based Jerm. What does that mean? Can someone please tell me?
It means like it's the opposite of woke. So it means like being very based in reality type thing. That's my understanding anyway of what it is.
Oh, all right.
People in the comments can let us know. Should I look on Urban Dictionary?
Grounded, unbiased, sensible. Oh no, that's entirely not true. I am probably grounded, but I'm certainly biased. I'm not unbiased. So that's a terrible thing to say about me. In actual fact, no one is unbiased, so that's why it's a city term. Sensible, I don't know about that either. I don't think I'm very sensible. So
No,
I think
you're
the
quite
only,
silly.
I think so. The only one of that three would be grounded.
Well, here's what Urban Dictionary says: agreeable, admirable, worthy of support. Often used in contexts where the action or opinion ignores popular trends and social conventions or requires special effort.
Oh,
Used either seriously or tongue in cheek to encourage eccentric behavior for comedic effect.
oh, that's interesting. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So there's an example here. It's like, I threw away my TV. I only read books now. And the response is, that's based.
Well, so the comment says that, and I don't know how do you say that? Alamoth. Alamoth. Is that right? Have I got the emphasis correct? The emphasis. Alamoth. Alamoth.
I have no idea.
Admitting your bias and addressing your own nonsense is pretty base. Sure, that's like a bit of a singularity moment there. So it's based to be called unbiased and then saying that you are biased.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, that's a bit of a mind game.
Yeah. Um, so
Who is this White Noise podcast? I keep seeing that
what?
name popping up. I've never heard it.
You don't watch Whiskey Friday, do you?
No.
White Noise podcast is Carter. And he started a podcast at the end of August. And so far he's had Paratus on and Kenthan and Ivo.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, and we did a live stream together. And he also sometimes kidnaps Amy and keeps her in a cage, apparently. So yes, that's White Noise podcast.
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, I do apologize. I should know these things. I've been very distracted for the last few weeks. I hope I'm forgiven.
You're forgiven. You get a free pass this time, Jerm.
Okay,
This
cool.
time. Yeah. And yes, Carter's also based.
Happy to have you on, Jerm. Okay, so this morning I was talking about grammar being important. So now look at that comment there for a second. Happy to have you on, Jerm. I don't think Beth would be happy to be on me, and and this is why a comma matters. See, happy to have you on, comma, Jerm, and that changes the entire meaning. But as it reads now, White Noise is happy to have Beth on me. I'm not complaining, but I know that our partners will, and then everything goes downhill after that.
There might have changed. So
and also
in the
YouTube might take everything down.
Yes, there is that as well. But yeah, we forgive White Noise his grammar and spelling because he is Afrikaans.
Yeah, and well, I mean, so is my wife, but I don't mind. I don't mind grammatical Jerm hub.
But we said this morning on your live stream in the chat. We were saying we need a Jerm hub.
So I mean, as long as you can laugh. I mean, people get upset when you correct their grammar, but I actually prefer when I get corrected, mainly because I don't want to speak wrong. It's really that simple.
Yeah. No, I get it. I can be a bit of a grammar Nazi myself, so.
And plus, I'm trying to freaking take back the English language. It's been ruined thanks to SMS and Twitter.
You must see my husband.
Oh, is he bad?
No, when he gets a message that's like, okay, talk to you later, but it's TLK and then L8R.
And the 2, and it's a 2.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I can't do it. I
He
can't do it. Beth, I
loses
can't do it.
his freaking mind. And
The,
to
re-
the
the
point
reason,
that our daughter she knows, like, do not text daddy like that. Like, and if he catches you texting your friends like that, like, he might actually take your phone away.
no,
like,
so I met my wife, online back in the day. All right.
mm-hmm.
And the only reason why she actually replied to me, to my very first message, was because I typed properly. She said every guy that sent her messages that typed like a dick, using SMS lingo, she ignored.
That's really good to hear. I'm glad that your wife has high standards.
Well, one of us has to. Listen. When you're me, you'll take anything. Hashtag setting the bar low.
Were you that desperate, Joe?
Listen. I was ready to go have dinner with my gay friend. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He wasn't really my friend.
But he is now.
Yes.
Funny that. Yeah.
Asian
So what
countries.
else is news? Asian countries?
Oh no. I don't know if that's trolling or not, but if that is trolling, it's great. But that is not how you spell Asian. So please tell me that was a joke.
Well, I think they're not going to want to lose favor with you, so they're not going to admit if it wasn't a joke. So.
No, they won't lose favor with me, but I might not read out their comments. That's what I've come to realize. So I was trying to say this morning on my show. If I've got a guest who's a pretty awesome guest, and there are comments scrolling up, and I can't read them, I can't make out what they're saying, I literally just ignore them. That's what I've come to do. I'm not going to bother trying to sit and figure out what does that comment or question mean. So, and I think that's fair, Beth.
No, I think it is, and like you've obviously put in a lot of work, and your guest has given up their time to be on your show. It's not like you pay them to be there.
Yeah, and it's respect.
And yeah, so like, yeah, you can't acknowledge all the comments, and you can't get to every single one. And yeah, I think also, as difficult as it is to get maybe what we want to say into 200 characters on a live stream comment, which is, what it's limited to, you need to at least make an effort to make it readable. That,
And I think it's just common decency and respect. I'm very much about respect in certain instances. In this particular instance, I know that if I'm trying to get a question through, I'll put in a bit of effort to make sure that what I'm saying is legible and intelligible.
Exactly.
I'm not Avril Lavigne. You're right. So you remember Skater Boy? I'm quite a fan of her now, by the way. Speaking of Avril, I think she's done very well for herself in terms of her music. She's really evolved quite a bit. I heard a song recently by her. It was wonderful. It sounded like a country song. It was really? It was fantastic. Yeah. I think it was.
I'll look her up again. I
was really impressed by her.
It's about 15 years, I think, since I've listened to her. So I will definitely give that a listen.
Good. She's very good now. And yes, what's really difficult for me to admit, Miley Cyrus is now quite good.
Did you see her on Joe Rogan recently?
I did, and she was A, gorgeous, B, well spoken, and C, her voice was a lot deeper than I was expecting.
Yeah, because she had surgery on it.
I didn't know that.
It was in the show. It was like,
Yeah, but I didn't watch the whole show.
Was that the beginning? Oh, okay. I just watched one of the clips. I haven't gone back and watched the whole thing yet.
She's
yeah.
like very good now. I mean, I kind of got a bit worried when she was swinging on a big rock ball, but like now she's quite good.
Yeah, she's based now.
Well, good. And so is Avril. It's fantastic to see. Unlike Brittany, who I've kind of given up on, I was hoping that she would sort of make a good comeback, because these are the singers that sort of we grew up with.
Yeah, Brittany really fell off the rails. I think having kids broke Brittany.
And you know what really is going to really destroy you is if I tell you that Macaulay Culkin is 40.
Wow.
Think about that for a second. Macaulay Culkin is 40.
Home Alone.
Yes.
Wow.
And we watch Home Alone every Christmas because my wife is determined to watch Christmas movies leading up to Christmas. So we always do the same sort of movies. We watch Home Alone because she loves it. I can't handle it, but we watch it. We watch that Arnold Schwarzenegger one with that plastic toy that he wants to get for his kid. What is that movie? So it's like the superhero toy that that he forgets to buy for his kid. And he runs around the city the night before Christmas fighting with this other guy to try and get one for their kid. I forget the name of that movie.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a fun movie. Arnold is such a useless actor. He's so corny, but I enjoy watching him. And then we watch what are some other Christmas movies that we always watch? I'm trying to think now.
Well, apparently Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And we did watch it 2 years ago.
Apparently Macaulay Culkin didn't age well. I don't know. I remember a few years ago seeing him looking really skinny and like a washed up drug addict, to be honest.
Oh, that Asian comment literally is a real word.
So okay. It wasn't.
Go have a look there.
What's it called? An acronym or something?
That's very interesting.
The children are now inside with the Labradonki.
Jean-Claude is cornier than Arnold. I think that's probably true. Something about a dog.
Yes, Beth? The dog. They just let the dog inside. Come here, Nelson. Stop pulling him by his collar. Okay. Right. They're going to sit in the lounge now.
Right.
So I apologize for background noise. Right, where were we? Are they part of Hollywood's work?
Who?
Miley and Avril.
I don't know. Probably. I'm not sure. And I'm actually quite happy that I don't know. That's the thing. I really struggle when actors get involved in this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like our very own Charlize Theron.
Theron, it's not Theron. It's Theron.
Yes,
from Benoni.
Theron from Benoni. Her raising her child non-binary.
No, that's child abuse.
Yep.
The other one is Meryl Streep.
Is she also?
Yes, she's a great actress, but every time I watch her now, I think of her wokeness.
Yeah, that's luckily something I haven't seen, so I can still enjoy The Devil Wears Prada. without thinking about
Yeah,
that.
we watched it 2 weeks ago. It's a phenomenal movie.
Mm. Yeah, after Rob brought up that quote, I couldn't help but go and look it up. Sorry. I'm having
No,
to
it's
be
fine.
mean, mommy.
Hillsongers work. Yeah, that's probably true. So a lot of people don't know what Hillsong is. It's that Sydney church, which is massive. Do you know about it?
No.
Okay, so it's a church in Sydney that is very famous for its live music.
So it's like
So
Rayma.
yeah, but much bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
along those lines, but very much bigger. And they bring out CDs all the time and albums and stuff, and it's a very, I don't know, like a Hollywood style church with lasers and bling and screens and everything. Anyway, as it turns out, I've been there. I actually, when I
Okay.
was in Australia a few years ago, I actually visited this church to see what it's like, and I went there on a bad night, and it was like 5,000 people.
Sure.
Mm.
Okay. That's wow. And they work.
Well,
Like full on work.
well, that's what it says there. But a lot of these sort of mainstream, not just churches, but mainstream organizations are often woke.
Mm.
They buy into all this sort of postmodern nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they have to climb on the bandwagon, otherwise they'll lose their funding.
Well,
So
the church gets funding from its members, so there's that.
yep.
Listen, I think it's a big problem if a church is getting funding from like shareholders or like investors.
Why though? Why is it a problem from shareholders and investors?
Well, because it's a church. It's not. It's okay. All right. Let me rephrase that. It's supposed to be a ground up kind of organization as opposed to a top down funded organization with sort of business interests. But to be fair, churches have become that in many respects these days. They've become very big businesses.
Exactly.
So I guess I'm shooting myself in the foot.
We were speaking about grammar, and now woke is coming up a lot. My husband cannot stand that word. He's like,
I get it.
woke is not a noun.
No, it's not. But it's a term that you can't avoid because it's constantly being used. I actually prefer the term postmodern. It means the same thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't roll off the tongue that easily, does it?
No, and nobody knows what you mean when you say postmodern. And also they think that you're being an intellectual red wine drinking art sophistry, and it, like, oh, you're trying to be all intellectual now by saying postmodern. And one of the things I must tell you, I can't stand intellectualism for the sake of intellectualism. Absolutely can't stand it. I think that it will be the death of the West.
Yeah, we have to draw a line as to how much we actually want to be intellectualists about. Yeah.
No, intellectualism is actually a big problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, intellectualism is merely sort of redesigning the cocktail lounge on the Titanic.
So we've moved away from rearranging lounges on the deck, eh? Now,
yeah, I'm trying to make it sound more. I'm trying to make it sound more intellectual. Didn't you pick up on that?
did. I really did. Yeah, it
I
it
love
is.
Krista's
We don't
comment.
need to.
I love Krista's comment. Not all postmodernists are woke. Um, yes, that's true, but all woke types are postmodern.
Okay.
So, do you
Like,
know what postmodernism is?
not completely, no.
Yeah, I'll give you
I'll
the
admit.
I'll give you the one sentence summary. It's basically this like 50 or 60 or 70 maybe year old um, evolution of modernism. And without explaining what modernism is, postmodernism is basically the idea that there is no objectivity. Everything is relative. Truth is relative. So my truth and your truth exist as separate entities, and so everything has no grounding. Basically, value systems can be done away with, and you can question anything and everything. And as such, trying to define it is, of course, impossible, because
Mm,
the fact that you're defining it is uh, it's a contradiction by definition. But
mm,
it essentially means that everything's relative and there's nothing on which to ground. So like anything goes essentially. Like, so in other words, you go, well, a marriage is between a man and a woman. You might then say, well, who said so? And then you just keep breaking apart everything until there's nothing left. And so I think postmodernism is extremely evil. I think it's extremely immoral, and I think it is very, very, very deadly. I think it has to be opposed.
completely? Or is there like exceptions in
Um,
your mind?
Postmodernism it's unavoidable. It's inevitable. It's a result of progress, um, which is obviously impossible to stop. But
Mm,
if you can be aware of postmodernism or postmodern thinking, you can then counter it with your own thinking. And I think that without getting too deep now, postmodernism tends to be at odds with real conservatism, for example.
mm,
And I think if you really want to hold on to values or principles, um, postmodernism or the postmodern thinker will question why you want to hold on to values and principles. You know, if I said to you that I mean, a bunch of my best mates are gay. Obviously, I have nothing against gay people. I'm not homophobic, despite what the media says. Um, but marriage is traditionally between a man and a woman.
mm-hmm.
The postmodern thinker would say, well, that should be done away with. And I'm saying, no, I want to preserve that. I want to hold on to that. You absolutely can be unionized or unified through the state, but it would use a different term. And so tradition, for example, tradition would be an opposite of postmodernism, because postmodernists don't like traditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just want to throw everything away. Like
Mm.
everything's changed. So now this is just the
And
new way.
everything is up for grabs. Anything goes. And I don't think it's a very wholesome place to be mentally.
No, no, I agree. And I think, and it's something even myself I've struggled with is like
Oh,
we
and it's anti-science, by the way.
it is anti-science, yes.
Mm.
Um, we've like I think a lot of people have lost all of their family traditions. Like
Mm.
everything, everything is lost. Like we just there's even in our own family. Like I'm struggling to come up with traditions that we can do at Christmas time because everything that we used to do just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and I mean things like inclusivity. inclusivity and multiculturalism are aspects of postmodern thought. Everybody must be included. You must never exclude anybody. So if I want to have a boys club, a boys only club, or whatever the term is now, you can't, because they're going to say, well, it discriminates against women. All right. So now we don't get gentlemen's clubs anymore, or boys clubs. You can't have an Italian club because it discriminates against everybody who isn't an Italian.
Yes.
It's all upside down. And now you can't, you get it's frowned upon to say Merry Christmas. You must say Happy Holidays, because you don't want to exclude people who don't participate in Christmas.
But if I'm saying Merry Christmas, I'm saying it to someone who celebrates Christmas. Like, I'm not going to go to my Hindu neighbor and say, oh, Merry Christmas. But she comes to me and says Merry Christmas because that's how she is. But I don't go out of my way to go to her and say, oh, Merry Christmas. But when it's Diwali, I'll send her a message and say Happy Diwali.
Yeah, exactly right.
I'm not going to phone up my Jewish friend and say, hey, it's Christmas Day. Do you want to come over for some gammon?
You could. Depends on your friend. I mean,
not my kosher Jewish friend is not going to come over for gammon.
And you know what's so funny? How postmodernism has in the last few years even pissed off atheists. Now, I myself am not an atheist, but many atheists, including Peter Boghossian, for example, he'll tell you himself, have reached a point where they say, you know what, the postmodernist is all about. Even Gareth Cliff, he said exactly this 2 weeks ago. I was doing a webinar with him, and he said he used to ridicule Christians, and he is an atheist, and he says what he's realized is that he was buying into postmodern thinking. Now he sees them as allies rather than as enemies, and he will respect their Christian beliefs, and they'll respect his, and so you can be friends.
Yes. And isn't that ultimately what life is about, Jerm?
Yes,
mutual respect for each other's beliefs.
Yes. And if I want to read the slogan on your boobs, you must tolerate me reading the slogan on your boobs for more than 1 second.
Or don't put slogans on your boobs. Wild thought. Really wild thought,
Oh, sorry. Did I say on your boobs? I meant on your shirt. If you've got a slogan on your boobs and I'm looking at it, then there's probably something wrong in the scenario.
I think you might be at Mavericks looking at a tattoo.
or at Clifton.
This is true. No, baby. Sorry, my son is really...
By the way, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I have nothing against women putting slogans on their boobs. I'm just throwing it out there.
Or on their shirts.
Yeah, well, yes, or on their shirts, of course. Whichever comes first.
Well, it's cheaper to get a t-shirt than it is to get a tattoo. So.
Well, who says it's a tattoo? It could also just be a slogan.
Yeah, I suppose you could just do it temporarily.
By the way, Beth, have you got tattoos?
I do. I have 2.
Am I allowed? Where are they on your body?
My shoulder and my stomach.
Sorry, on your shoulder and where?
My stomach.
What? Your stomach?
Yes.
Like, oh, right, but like off center. It's not on your like belly button.
Yes.
Is it on your belly button?
No, it's not on my belly button. Yes, it's off center. It's on like the right.
Right. Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay, why?
No, I'm just asking. My wife has a tramp stamp. I approve.
It says I approve.
No. I'm saying I approve of her tramp stamp.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a tramp stamp, even though like I grew up in the era when tramp stamps were like trendy, like everybody was getting like a tribal something in their lower back. Yeah, no, I never did that. No, I got a sperm on my stomach.
Really? A sperm?
Yes, yes. And then I covered it up with an angel.
I'm not sure what to ask.
It's a very long story.
It's a sperm on your.
So like a tadpole, basically. It looked.
Right.
It was a
Okay.
tadpole. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, the reason why my wife has a tramp stamp is so that she can't see it. She said that she didn't want to be reminded that she has a tattoo, and then get irritated because she can't remove it.
Okay. Then why get it?
Because it's fun at first, but if it's going to be on your body until you're old, and there's nothing you can really do other than like continue adding to it.
Yeah, like the one on my shoulders, it's like over 20 years old, so it's like faded and stuff. So I actually need to get it covered.
But that's one of those sort of like sexy tattoos. So if like in summer, if you got like a strap top on, then it peeks through. When you go out to like lunch or something. Yeah. I get those. So a friend of mine, she's got her entire back is tattooed.
That's cool. My niece has got one sleeve and she's working on this arm, I think, now as well.
And my same friend has her thigh tattooed very, very high up, and it kind of runs down the leg. I'll be honest, it's quite sexy. But it's also very inappropriate sometimes, like if you if she's going to a meeting or whatever.
My niece is an architect, so like if she has meetings with very conservative people, she'll just like wear long sleeve blouses or whatever.
Someone asked if I've got tattoos. I don't. I'm part of that rebellious clan. Like I'm probably one of the last people left on the planet who doesn't have a tattoo.
Well, you and my husband.
I had piercings. I think they're all closed now, but I had a bunch of earrings at one stage when I was younger. When I had long hair as well.
You had long hair?
Yep. Okay. Went down past my shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah. And I used Troublesome.
It was bound to come up, wasn't it?
Listen, I'm part of the resistance. There are a handful of us. We can probably all join a WhatsApp group. Those of us who don't have tattoos.
Well, Amy will join that WhatsApp group because she doesn't have tattoos.
Oh, welcome, Amy. Welcome. I had tattoos before it was cool. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. I think tattoos have been around for since the Vikings.
Yeah, but Count is a Viking, so yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Jerm, who does your artwork? Dig your style. What?
I don't know. Like sometimes I get Carter, and other times I'm just like, I don't know. This one is just, I don't know.
I did have long hair. I'll see if I can show you a picture from my phone. See, have a look here.
Did you know you can also share your screen in StreamYard? You can share your screen in my StreamYard.
Yes. I can see that. Yeah, but you are too scared of what it might show.
I'm scared too, if I'm honest. So but I'm just saying. This is a really, really cool platform. Okay, wait, your channel logo artwork is what he means.
Oh, me is the answer.
Duh.
Okay. Oh no, this is a bit blind, but okay. Yeah, this is a few years ago. See if I can. I don't know if you can see on the screen. There, that was GHD, baby. See, look at that length.
That's high maintenance. Why?
But
Why would you have?
that was when it was still semi long. It was like down here, and I had that like whole emo thing going where I only had one eye, and I had to iron my hair so that it would be straight and shiny.
I was talking to my niece's fiance on the long weekend because we were at the Vaal River all together, and he said, "Yeah, when he was in school." Now I met him just after he was about 20 when he started dating my niece, and his hair was short and everything. But he said no, when he was in high school, he used to wear a scarf to school every day to hide how long his hair was, and it was super super long, and he used to straighten it with a GHD like every weekend. And he's like, yeah, and then I left school and I didn't have to have short hair, and so I cut it all off. Like, okay.
Yeah, but I was into that sort of that like metal screaming music thing that happened. I still listen to, like hard rock music and whatever. Not nearly as much as I did, but I think I was influenced by that like one-eyed hair story. Jerm, the younger me would have been all over you. Ha ha ha. So Amy was into that sort of emo thing.
It would appear that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, she says screamo. That's correct. Amy is a bit with it in the underground culture. So screamo. So I was very much into that whole hard rock music scene, yeah, in Cape Town at least. I used to go to all the gigs. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. The bands with all their vocalists who would scream, and it was just noisy and it was raucous, and people would burn stuff. And
You guys are speaking a language I don't understand.
oh, it was the best. There were mosh pits, and I wore a motorbike helmet. It was great.
Didn't you hurt people with that thing on your head?
Yes, but who cared? It wasn't. It was so that you didn't get hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was very into like the whole hard rock scene.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Amy's agreeing with you.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah, there are very few of us left who enjoyed the hard rock scene. And Barney Simon was on our team.
Look, everybody, he's coming through the doors.
Brilliant! He didn't even open it. He's here. Barney.
Gentle says you look like a Beatles dude.
Yeah, probably. The whole screamo hard rock scene was nothing new, I guess. So were you into screamo, not heavy metal? I don't know. It's getting a bit technical for me. And I'm much older now, and I'm slightly more grown up. But I don't know. I've always liked hard rock. I just put everything into one category. So I don't know. I mean, I still listen to bands like In Flames. Do you know the band, Beth?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there's a band called In Flames, and I think they would be classified as heavy metal. I don't know. But I would listen to bands like that, and there was a band called The Used, which I very much enjoyed. I don't know if they're still going. I haven't listened to them in a long time, but I was very much into The Used, and I actually can't remember. Oh, and it's a band called Under Oath. Now, Amy, I'm convinced, is probably part of my previous life because she's the only person who knows the same bands that I do. So Seison is a band that I still listen to. Like they're on my phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so unknown that you don't mention it because no one knows the band Seison, but they're an incredible band. And in fact, if you go watch their videos on YouTube, you'll be blown away with this guy's voice. The band called Under Oath that she's mentioning there is a band that I saw live. And they don't exist anymore, but you get a band that was much heavier than them in terms of screaming. I was just like, it's just raucous. But I saw them live, and I loved the band Under Oath so much that I bought one of their hoodies that said Under Oath on it. But again, like, Amy is probably the only other person in South Africa who knows these bands. So Amy, I think Amy must get a coffee mug. Actually, I'm gonna send her a coffee mug just because she knows the same bands that I do.
Amy's already got a coffee mug.
What? Do you have a coffee mug of mine, Amy?
Yep. She used it on my show last week.
Oh. How did Amy get a coffee mug of mine? Did I send you one, Amy?
I assume they bought them, Jerm.
Oh, I don't know who buys my mugs.
Yeah.
So Linkin Park was a great band, but only their first album, maybe their second album. So Linkin Park is a lot more commercial and popular, so everybody knows them.
I enjoyed their first album.
Yeah, their first album was fantastic. I think I played that. I think I played Linkin Park to death. Ooh, is that joke a bit below the belt?
No, I'm reading comments, so I didn't catch it.
Oh. Well, the singer killed himself.
Oh, right. As a lot of musicians tend to do.
Amy says that Under Oath still exists. Oh, okay. But they're probably very different now in terms of their band members. Amy says she bought a mug from me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have known that. It just shows you I've sold a lot of mugs. Sarin Gas, Henry VIII. No, those were not heavy bands. I mean, they were cool South African bands, but they were not heavy.
Amy liked your job.
Linkin Park is pop music. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they're pop or not. I mean, for goodness sake, I like Avril Lavigne's latest stuff. I don't really care about the labeling. I'm not into that whole like, ooh, I don't listen to pop music. I mean, like, I love pop music. It just depends what it is.
You know who I enjoy a lot is Pink, but
yes.
not her singles, not necessarily all of her singles, like the really popular stuff. The other stuff that she writes to fill up an album is
she's
really,
brilliant.
really good.
Although she's aged quite a bit now. I think she's become more like mauve or like lavender.
What?
I made a color joke, but it didn't really work, did it? Actually, Jerm, Under Oath band members all the same.
My word, we're the same age. I wish I was as fit and strong and awesome as her. And then you tell me that she's aged, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Amy says Under Oath band members are all the same. Okay, I'm so sorry. That shows you when last I listened to them. Linkin Park, depression killed him. Yes. Okay, fine. The older Coldplay stuff. So I'll tell you a story about Coldplay. I didn't know any of their music, and my ex at the time wanted to go and see them live here in Cape Town, and she wanted me to go with, and I didn't listen to anything of Coldplay. I think I knew that one song that everybody knew, Yellow or something, and so she gave me their music, and the week before we went to go see them, I listened to them every single day so I could get some songs in my head. I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed that concert. It's one of my favorite concerts ever. Coldplay was really good. I can't handle Coldplay now. They're very boring, but it was an amazing concert. And I thoroughly loved Mumford & Sons. Absolutely underrated band.
I love them. I do love them a lot.
Such a great show.
I wish I'd seen them live when they were here.
The only band... No, wait. I did see live. I just think that live is probably one of the dumbest names you could have as a band.
Yeah, that is a bit redundant.
I found live was a bit overrated, but they were all right, I guess. I struggled with their name.
Mumphy en seuns is lekker.
Did Chester and Chris Cornell kill themselves? Not so sure. I think Chester did. Chris Cornell, I don't know. Good singer, that. Shame. Big loss.
Yeah, the other day, Gentle shared a Cranberry song, and that just like sent me down a little memory lane.
Were you a fan?
Well, I'm Irish.
Irish. Okay, didn't know that.
Well, 1/4
Beth,
Irish.
I'm looking at the time. Let's wrap up in about 5 minutes.
Yes, I was just about to say we have been going for over an hour, and everybody's dropping off to go and watch Ramon now.
No, it was great fun. But I also need to go and I want to go and cook supper.
Yes. And my husband just got home and is bringing me coffee. Like, how awesome is that? Thank you.
Yes, but I can see when you're talking to him because you're on the screen and you like mouthing words to him. It's like this. This is Beth. It's like everybody can see you.
Yes, and it's like,
it's like,
that's why everybody comes back to watch me again, because they know, like, I'm a mom. I'm proudly a mom and very happily married. I'm not that bad.
Everybody can see you on the screen.
Yes. Well, I do like to greet him as soon as he walks in, considering there's a big glass door.
Jerm is so domesticated. I actually like making supper.
Yes. He even brags about his Le Corsette casserole dish.
Yep, I do. I've got a couple different pots and pans and things. I've also got, I had those silver ones with the green thing on the lid. What they're called again?
Something with an A.
Someone please tell me. Someone tell me, what are those?
Oh my gosh, I know this because my sister has them.
Those awesomely expensive pots with the green thing on the lid, and it gives you the temperature. Someone must know. Someone must know what pots we are talking about. Damn it.
Let me just shout through this door and ask my mom again. She'll know.
It's going to come to us after the stream. Watch.
Yes. We're going to like WhatsApp each other at like 11:30 tonight.
Yeah. I want to say, no, not Amway.
It's not Amway, but it's very similar to that.
Damn it.
So why did you used to have those?
Because they're good pots.
But you said used to.
Yes.
You don't have them anymore.
And then, yeah. And then I got married and we ended up with like double everything in the kitchen.
So you got rid of those pots?
Well, I didn't have the full set, so I might as well just have got rid of them and got an entirely new set, which hasn't happened yet.
Right. Well, I cook everything in my Instant Pot now because I'm just that lazy.
You know what we bought recently is a air fryer. Man, that thing's amazing, Beth.
I know, they're awesome, hey?
Shoo, chicken in an air fryer. It's remarkable. 20 minutes.
Don't eat chicken.
You don't eat chicken? Why?
I'm over lacto-pescatarian. Just to be woke.
Gesundheit.
I can't eat meat.
Oh, so what? You don't eat? What?
I eat fish.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. You're still fine. You're still fine. Fish is actually very good for you.
Steak.
What?
I miss steak.
What happens if you eat a steak?
I get sick.
I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah.
All right, Beth.
On that bombshell,
on that bombshell.
I'm not an activist vegan.
Good.
Y'all can eat whatever you like, and I might drool
That's
whilst I
okay.
watch.
It's okay. If we braai, I'll do you a really nice mealie.
No, no. I'll think of something, but not a mealie, thank you.
Well, we can do a fish braais are quite. My wife loves them. She loves prawns and all that sort of stuff. So
Oh yes, please. Yeah.
I struggle to eat insects. So and things that crawl.
Last quick story before we sign
Yeah,
off. My
sure.
son was 2 years old. He was 2 years and 1 month old, and we went to Ocean Basket. And we ordered a platter, and we just got like fish nuggets and chips for the kids. And my husband and I got this big platter to share. And my son saw the prawn, and he's like, "Oh, what's that, Daddy?" And he takes it, and he like tasted it, and then said, "Oh, look, ice, ice," and then ate the head. Yeah, that's my son.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's very cool.
Amazing.
He'll eat anything.
Thank you for the conversation. I think the part I enjoyed the most was Amy reminding me of awesome bands.
Yeah, I think you guys should have a conversation together. And now
Yeah.
Carter's demanding beers off of her. And I
Thank you,
think
Amy.
Carter
It
gets
was
own.
lovely knowing that somebody else listened to the same music as I did. That's great.
That is really cool. Awesome.
Thanks,
Well,
Beth.
thank you to everybody else in the comments, and a huge thank you to Jerm for joining me today. Don't forget, tomorrow I have Gentle Inflatables joining us, and she grows her own veggies. So I want to know what the trick is to doing that. And yeah, other than that, don't wear a mask if you don't have to. Bye-bye.